Today, I'm going to tell you whether it's more important to reduce your costs or increase your sales in your restaurant and why. It is Dave Allred, The Real Barman, here from barpatrol.net and therealbarman.com. If this is your first time here and you're looking for tips, tricks, and strategies for growing your bar and restaurant business, make sure to hit the subscribe button because that's what we do here. All right, you can also visit our resource page on the website for more cool stuff to help you succeed. And speaking of running a bar and restaurant and succeeding, it's a lot, isn't it? Like, what the hell do you even focus on? You've got employees to manage, menus to figure out. I've got to replace the upholstery on the chairs and prepare for the health inspection. In the middle of all that, I've got to determine the best and most efficient ways to increase profits because that's the purpose of being under this big circus tent in the first place. All right, to make profits so we can go to places, like this and, buy stuff like this. Okay, so then let's get to the question that prompted you to watch this video in the first place. Should you focus on reducing your costs or increasing your revenue? And of course, the macro answer is both. All right, we can't ignore one or the other. For example, for those of you who do know me, you know that I started Bar Patrol as an inventory management company, and I used to actually walk into bars as a bar auditor and physically count their inventory for them. I've counted thousands of inventories, as painful as that sounds, and as a result, I saved them thousands of dollars. You simply can't ignore inventory management, even though many of you still are. All right, it's one of the biggest areas of loss in the bar industry. We're talking 25% shrinkage, and ignoring it causes your profits to disappear. So that's a cost reduction task that needs to happen. And then on the other side, you need to have some sort of marketing plan or loyalty plan in place to bring in new customers and build repeat customers so you can grow your revenue. This also needs to happen. But with all the cost reducing and revenue increasing tactics, you can choose to focus on which one is going to produce the best results in the most efficient way. Well, like with any business, there isn't always one simple answer. But let's head to my trusty PowerPoint to quantify this conundrum so you know exactly what you're looking for when it comes time to decide what to focus on. All right, in order to do this, we need to do a cost versus revenue analysis. And I'm going to get way out of the way down here. So I always like an example because it brings a theory to life and you can see it. So let's do a cost versus revenue analysis, and let's start with cutting costs. And we're going to make some assumptions. We're going to assume that the revenue is $100,000. Maybe this is for 1 month, okay? Let's say that the costs are $80,000, so your costs are 80%, which brings your profit to $20,000. We're going to keep the numbers simple here, okay? So let's say that you cut your costs by 5%. Let's see what that looks like. Well, your revenue stays the same. Your costs go down to $76,000, okay, 5% off of $80,000. And then so that makes your profit $24,000. So you've increased your profit by $4,000 by cutting your costs by 5%. All right, not bad. Let's see what happens on the increased revenue side if we do the same type of thing. So the assumptions are the same over here. Everything's the same. And if we decide to increase revenue by that same 5%, the revenue goes up to $105,000. Your costs go up to $84,000. If you don't know how to do this, you go 0.8 times $105,000 because your costs are 80%. And then your profit ends up being $21,000. So you only increase your profit by $1,000 by increasing your revenue by that same 5%. Okay, so not nearly as effective if you do the same percentage. Okay, what will it take to get this same $24,000 increasing revenue? Well, you actually have to get up to 20% to increase your revenue to get that same $24,000 back because your costs go up by 80%. Okay, so that seems like a big problem. It seems like the obvious answer is cutting costs here. However, you have to take into account that cutting percentages of your costs is more of a grind than increasing your revenue. And this is because there's only so much you can cut, right? Like you can only whittle a stick down so far until there's nothing left to whittle. And after that, you're just left with like a bunch of shavings on the ground, which represent the broken pieces of your life. Okay, sorry, that's a little dark, but the point is there's so much more room to grow than there is to shrink. So when it comes to cutting costs, I instruct owners and managers to focus on the big ones: inventory, labor, and food costs. And there are a variety of strategies to control these that I will go into more in an upcoming video. Okay, I already have some videos on this you can go watch, but I'm going to do an updated video that's going to be like more, better, awesomer. All right. Yes, I'm aware that's not a real word, but if you're a grammar Nazi, go start your own YouTube channel. All All right, my point is, I'm not saying that other cost-cutting tasks aren't important to be aware of, like utilities, not keeping the lights on unnecessarily, or making sure that when we clear the table and throw the trash away that we don't lose silverware, stuff like that. But there's a difference between like being aware of and putting all of your energy and focus into something. Like, should you spend your day walking around nitpicking to your staff about turning off lights and digging forks out of the trash and bartering with vendors about case prices? Or should you spend your time expanding your mind to the infinite and innovative possibilities of how to get more people to walk through your doors? All right, I know owners and managers who are obsessed with cutting costs, and frankly, it gives me vertigo, makes me want to throw up, because it's the opposite of growth, and it's tight. All right, come on, you know that the ceiling for growing your business is like way high right now. Like, you almost can't even see it, it's so high. I know you have slow nights, and I know that your busy nights can be busier. There's so much potential, but you can only lower your electric bill so much. Okay, if you go digging through the trash, what are you going to save on lost silverware? Like $20 a month? Like $50 a month if your staff is just like hucking spoons into the trash one after another? So it's my contention that 75% of your time and energy should be focusing on increasing sales in your bar and restaurant. And by increasing sales, I don't mean raising prices, even though that is a strategy. I mean focus on getting more people into your restaurant. As the saying goes, sales fixes everything. All right, of course, you have to be smart about that. If you have to hire a bunch more staff and increase your labor costs and waste money on outdated marketing strategies, increasing sales could actually lower your profit margin, even if you bring in more revenue. Okay, so you have to be smart about the marketing strategies you use with modern technology and tactics. Again, more of that in my next video coming out. Insert cliffhanger here. Okay, now on to the other side of things. We have cutting costs, and these are strategies you should also be implementing to get that double whammy so that you're increasing profits on both sides. But even with labor and food costs, which are biggies, you can't be a miser or quality suffers. I've seen managers cutting the floor to save on labor, so then you have like 2 servers running around serving 17 tables, none of which are ever coming back because of the horrible service they received. Okay, but you save $50 on labor, way to go. Okay, or that lettuce is browning on the edges and you told the cooks to go ahead and use it because you wanted to maximize your food costs. Again, those tables that spot that shoddy food and that wilting vegetation, they're not coming back because you want to save $1.17 on a head of lettuce. Okay, my point being, you need to recondition your limited, tight way of thinking. Cutting the fat off your costs, that's smart. Spending hours picking off the last remnants of grease to get it perfect, miserly and stupid. Okay, maybe stupid's a strong word. How about misdirected idiocy? Is that better? Okay, so depending on when you're watching this, my next video will talk about how exactly to grow your restaurant sales, and then I'll also put one out on how to cut costs, the best ways. Okay, a card will pop up here when it's ready. If there's no card, it ain't ready. Forget about it. All right, that's my amazing New York/mafia accent. All right, so switch your focus from being tight and miserly to opening up your world to unlimited growth and how to better your marketing and grow your sales by grabbing people's attention to get them into your bar and restaurant. And then you need to provide amazing service and food and atmosphere to get them all to come back again, or it's all for naught. Okay, again, more on the how to do this in the next video. I can't give away all my secrets in one video because you have too short of an attention span to sit through it. And that's the ADD we live in these days. So I don't make the rules. I'm just a passenger. Okay, so that's going to do it for the day. I hope this helped. And I hope you make millions and millions of dollars in profit. I am going to see you next time. I'm out.